Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We're jumping back into our game with Lemuria and Lord of the Flies. It is turn 85. And last episode, if you recall, we had a bit of a situation. We had failed to cast Vengeful Waters, wasting 260 water gems. No big deal, right? And then we lost one of our thrones. And we lost a few forts. I think we won no battles against Utgard that were of particular significance. And Midgard had told us that they were ending their nap with us, which meant they were going to attack us shortly. So yeah, things are not looking good at the moment. So anyway, on to this next turn. Upwards and onwards. We have empowered ourselves in air. If you recall, we had done it last turn, so we got up to air 3. We're probably going to do it again. I want to get up to high air so I can potentially have a Queen of Air Elementals that I summon. These people were forging Standard of the Damned, so it cost them getting probably a little horror marked and whatnot. But we have Standards of the Damned now. That was what they were forging. Those will go on Centurions. Okay, this guy gets smacked. Okay, this guy gets killed by Slave to Unreason. We'll just show you real quick. You know, he's here. Yeah, that's basically what you expect. Disease Demon, we actually killed one. Let's actually show you that, because that does not happen often. And actually, this is going to be different RNG, so totally possible that... Okay. So we kill him. So underwater, the Disease Demon does not do as well. He has a decent chance of killing my guards. It depends how many guards I have come out. Here we had 5. Good chance we kill him. Less than 5. Good chance they kill... they kill me. We have cast Revive Lemur Centurion. Did not get attacked by Horus for that. Not actually sure what this report is. But a horror attacks us here. And we're probably going to kill her because Lady of the Lakes is a big boss. Oh no, she retreats. Oh no, she dies, huh? This shows her having kind of won, but I think you can see with different RNG, the horror could kill the Queen of the Lakes. A few battles, we're just going to click through them, see if there's any big ones. I'm not going to really narrate these. You can just kind of see. We'll talk about kind of like the general raiding war and who's winning that after this. This one's actually kind of interesting. I think we'll watch this one just because I have a little console battle and they have some mage support. Yeah, so you can see the combination of invulnerability plus Soul Vortex plus Astral Shield. You're basically immune to normal human troops. And their mage never really got in range to do much. So anyway, that worked out well for us. I think that was this one, yeah. So coming down here, Vampire Lord, we managed to kill them. Coming down here... Okay, we got a big battle on the Cliff Coast, so let's watch this. This is this big farmland we've been fighting over for, like, forever. Now, we have a ton of dudes. We have our Troll King, who has a bunch of Earth Gems, whereas before he did not. We have these guys who are all kind of kitted out with all the gems they need to do all sorts of cool stuff. And we have a lot of troops. This is probably 600 ghosts, something like that. Now, he has a bunch of these Scrotty, which some of them may be on thug duty. It looks like most of them are going to be batteries for a communion, but I'm not sure because he doesn't really have too many people who could be communion master. He has his vampire lords. So it could be that he's going to just spam out Wither Bones and use these guys as batteries with three vampire lords. That would probably be my guess. He's also got this lady here. Not sure what they're going to be casting. Could be how. Could be mass protection. Could be a lot of things. Oh, he has a crystal mage back here too. So, he could be... This would be really funny. He could do a linebacker communion, which is where it's really not effective in Dominions 5 or 4 compared to 3. Dominions 3 used to be able to do this. A linebacker communion is where you have a communion master like this guy, and you have a bunch of slaves, and the master runs through a buff script like Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, Astral Shield, Resist Magic maybe, and then maybe these guys, they do Invulnerability, Damage Reversal, Soul Vortex, all part of a communion. One of them does it. And then one of these guys might do Quicken Self, Breath of Winter, whatever, right? So you get a bunch of buffs all on the communion slaves, and then you tell you have to get every single master to retreat. What it will then do is it'll put the slaves at 200 fatigue, but with Soul Vortex on them, you could come out of it. So, and I hadn't actually really thought about that until right now. But you could potentially do a linebacker communion still if you had Soul Vortex and a bunch of people on Guard Commander for each of the slaves, because they would heal out of the shock of all their masters leaving pretty quickly. But then they would run into combat and kind of murder everything. We will see what he does, because this is going to be a really hard battle for him to win. So we see they're casting Liquid Body, and then Sabbath Slave, so very interesting. What all is he casting? It looks like he did Mass Protection, and then a bunch of little bugs. I can't really see. It looks like he did another one. I'm not sure. He hasn't buffed Magic Resistance. But we've got Rigor Mortis, Wailing Winds, Darkness... I've tried to cast Plague. I don't know if I'm successful here. Where's my guy casting Plague? Right up here. I don't think he's really in range. Maybe he is. We see Wither Bones spam coming out. Flame Eruption too. Who's doing Flame Eruption? Okay, this guy is a Communion Master, so he is dropping big fire spells. I wonder if he might have Phoenix Pyre on these guys. That would actually be really funny. No, he doesn't. That would be really funny, though. A scrawny Communion group with Phoenix Pyre on them would be very funny. The Mass Protection would not be good for that. But you can see he's just killing my guys in droves, and we can barely even make it past this front line. Some of it is because my Paralyzers got up front, and they don't really do much damage. But now, like, this Grand Lemur is all the way up in the front, and she can get hit by Wither Bones here, so it's a pretty dangerous spot to be. And she'll die just like the other ghosts do with And these guys are all fatigued out, but they're still doing great as, Oh, where are they? Yeah. like, this is a communion slave. Sure, he's fatigued out, but look at his hit points. He's still fine. So it's looking like we're going to lose this. Even though we did Armies of Lead. Thing is with Armies of Lead, Witherbones is armor negating, so it doesn't matter what kind of armor you have. Yeah, this guy's going to get wrecked. Unfortunately, my troll is probably fatigued out, so he's probably going to die. With all his gear. It's kind of like rigor mortis working not in my favor. Yeah, and there we go. Which battle was that? I know where it was. Let's go find it. Cliff Coast. Looks like we won, even though here... So this is one of the... Normally it doesn't work in my favor when there's a battle replay glitch. But it looks like we got through here. And we killed all these guys. So you can see how this defense mounted actually could have worked, because that's how it worked in the replay. But in the game itself, you can see we kind of powered through and killed him. The way this would have worked is I probably would have like flanked him with sending my troops around the sides, and they would have gotten past. The problem really was in this battle. My guys got all kind of caught up on this front line of Drogs. If we kind of broke through them and got around to the side, which really could have just been my guys casting Witherbones once or twice, we would have broke through, gotten in amongst the softer Bone Fiends, and then into the mages. The Drogs have way more protection, especially with mass protection cast on them. So, yeah, enough to basically negate the damage of my ghosts. If we broke through them, we totally could have won, but we basically never did, and so we just sat there and got Witherbones spammed on us. Not very good. But anyway, you can see we won. This actually turns out to be a very important victory for us. It's our first big victory against Utgard in some time at this point in the game. Where's Cliff Coast? Okay, so that was this battle. And then Valagard, we kind of wiped the guys off there, but they had moved. The Ice Devil kills a bunch of our guys. Ryla just pings us. We attack Ryla here, and we kill all his dudes, which is fine. Except we are now on top of his fort, which means we can get assassinated. But I'm kind of kitted for this. We have a bottle of water, and we have marble armor. Marble armor, first of all, we're going to be fighting, I think, ice elementals. And I can't remember, I think trample might be armor piercing. But I have a lot of armor, so I think we'll be okay. And then we'll have ice elementals of our own. We should be mostly immune to assassins. And we have a pretty big group of dudes, so we'll see. Basically, in here we're going to do Stygian Rain, and then Soul Vortex and Rigor Mortis, and then Anti-Magic. I should have Wailing Winds, that would have been a lot better, but I don't have the right kind of caster there to do it. If I get this, that would be really nice. It would really solidify my hold on this little peninsula, because he can keep kind of raiding me from all sorts of places while he holds that. So coming down, that was this battle. Here, we move on top of his fort, and we kill some of his chaff. Down here, you can see we kill more chaff. We have our Troll King. Oh wait, this is actually the Cliff Coast. So we have a second battle inside of this fort with the vast armies of Lemuria. I'm just kidding, they mostly died in that previous fight or routed. So anyway, so we take it. But it's kind of interesting to see, coming back and watching it again, and just seeing how these battles can go so differently with just a few different kinds of RNG. Okay. It's always less fun when it goes differently and then you end up losing. But, you know, I'll definitely take the couple times where it goes differently and I win. So Octavia's back, which is good. We're right here, and then I think this turn... I think next turn is the last turn of our nap with Midgard. So that's pretty damn important. If we kind of zoom out and look at it, Utgard has a bunch of dudes here. He didn't, I do not believe... Yeah, he didn't send a sizable force here. He has... And we didn't really kill that many dudes here. So he has this big army here, and I'm not sure which direction he's going to move. But I've got a few. So I don't know if he's wanting to kind of retreat. He might start feeling like he's surrounded. And he may be worried about his cap. There's not a ton of dudes in his cap. He's got a lot of dudes right here. I don't know where they're going to go. Probably going to reclaim. Yawn. Probably going... It's like really early in the morning for me right now. Probably going to reclaim some of these forts. We are going to scoot over here and take this. Should be a pretty easy battle. And then ideally we can get back and take this, though it's going to be tricky because, you know, we have to survive infernal disease. I don't really want to, especially with this army, this is kind of a weak army. Have I finally scripted this guy? I still have not. How do I not script him? It's literally going to drive me crazy. We're going to move these guys up here. Like for like 5 turns, I haven't scripted this guy. Like, what am I doing? And I think we'll have mostly kind of like isolated. We'll kind of split this army up. Like, which direction is he going to go and kind of choose to defend? The one advantage I still have is right now I could... Like, if we ignore armies fighting each other, I have more sieging potential than does Utgard. So splitting up and getting him to kind of chase me around kind of works in my advantage, I think, right now. Even though I say that as, like, I'm losing forts to him rather quickly. We'll take a moment and just look at score graphs for a second. Itimu, he's going to move in, try to attack these guys. We'll see if he can make some magic. This Nature Mage is going to join these guys. I wonder what I have him scripted with. Relief. These guys, we're going to go back and try to take this fort. Try to get the Throne of Night back. I actually don't really like him having night vision. Did he claim it? No, he hasn't. Claiming that would actually be nice because his Gam herdings actually get kind of punished by night vision, or when I cast Darkness. So I'm very happy with him not having it. I also definitely don't want Midgard to have it, because that's one of the ways to make his Vans possible to hit. Do Darkness. They get a really big defense penalty. So yeah, we're going to move a ton of dudes in here. What is important is I'm moving... you can see I have these kitted out Centurions. I only have, I think, one here, even though I have another... I don't know where I put the other one. Maybe over here? Yeah, I'm going to have one guy storm the castle in case he doesn't send anybody to defend. But everybody else is moving up north. Where do I put... I wonder if I have it still in the lab. No, I put it somewhere. Okay, I put it... Where did I cast Lemur Centurion? Go to Commander. Okay, so they're both right here. I have somewhere I put... I probably would have put it going into this thing. I wonder if I put it on one of these guys. I didn't. I know I had 2 Standards of the Dam. Anyway, I put the other one somewhere. We'll find out next turn. But that standard of the dam is going to be really important for trying to kill this Ice Devil, who I imagine is patrolling. We're also kind of building up a little force here. Basically with the expectation that these guys are going to probably go and counter wherever he moves this big chunk of dudes, which is probably going to be one of these two forts. From here I can kind of forward deploy, though I only have one mage, which may not be enough. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Alright, Lime's going to move on top, and one of the reasons I want to move her on top is I can potentially use her to, like, super combatant inside the fort. So anyway, that's just kind of the thought. She's going to be really hard to kill on land. I mean, I think like an infinite number of troops couldn't kill her. She's got marble armor, decent MR, she's got this to kind of function as repel and to clear things out faster. And with 21 protection and then 50 HP regen. Where are you? 50? 50%, so that's what, 30 something a turn. It's just, she's not going to get killed. It's almost impossible. She didn't have a shield, but whatever. She's got a liquid body on top of it too, so it's like that high protection plus liquid body. So hard to kill. So anyway, I'll probably ping it, and then I might send her inside. We are going to storm the castle. I probably should have waited for Lime. I don't know what he has inside of here, but probably would have been better to do that with my my Lady of the Lakes. Big Rylan army building up here. I keep doing this bone grinding script, even though I didn't figure out why it didn't work. It was actually one of you in the comments several episodes ago, because there's like a huge delay from when I put these up, and maybe it was actually in my Ulm game, like saying you can't boost your magic path more than +1 with extra gems. So anyway, bone grinding script that doesn't work. We're doing that there because, you know, that's a thing. I mean, there's some miscellaneous stuff. We're moving and patrolling, and I think that's about it for this turn. Oh, since we did win this, we're going to kind of keep moving. We're going to move another big group here, continue to threaten his cap. We're just going to ping his cap right now, see what he's got patrolling. These guys are going to be here. It actually may have been a good idea to commit a large army to move at his cap this turn, and the reason is because if he didn't patrol it with everything, there's a big risk he patrols it with this, but if he didn't patrol it with everything, then I could move the army off it this turn, but then have these guys come in here, and they could still pop the fort, and he couldn't fight me from the cap. Anyway. This fort got a while left before they break through it. But yeah, that said, anyway, so it's kind of starting to look okay on this theater where I had been getting crushed. I basically just brought a lot more troops. He hasn't been killing as many of my troops, because, like, his guy's just sitting here. So, anyway, yeah, if he's not killing my troops, then it gives me the ability to start breaking through some of these forts, and I also now have a new tool in my arsenal, the Standard of the Dam, to help work through some of these super combatants. So we'll finish with score graphs, and then that's going to be the end of this episode. So, starting with provinces, you can see kind of we were doing well when we started fighting Utgard, but then we started kind of losing. This uptick is kind of a false uptick. We are just raiding on top of a lot of Utgard's forts, whereas before, down here, he was raiding on top of a lot of mine. But probably in terms of forts, which is almost the better way to look at it, we really have kind of been losing against Utgard lately, even though we won against him earlier. Though we're starting to make a slight comeback. For income, not looking good. Gym income, we're okay, but down a little. Research, inflecting upwards. Dominion, this is really important. This is going to determine... Basically, this chart is your army production chart. This will determine the growth rate of your army, more than really anything else. I mean, assuming you have a lot of forts in your Dominion, which if you're playing Lemuria, you should. So anyway, we're kind of plateauing out. Army size, though, you can see is coming down. So this is kind of the rough math that says we're not getting more and more troops, and the troops we have are kind of diminishing. So this is kind of scary. We're in a bad spot at the moment. Ascension points, we're still doing pretty damn good, though. Okay, so anyway, I think that's it. Tune in next episode. We will see if we're able to claim this throne back, if we have a big bump with this army, and we'll see where this huge destructive raiding force goes. And finally, we are getting very close to the point where our nap ends with Midgard, and yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.